set.
For you on a Sunday afternoon. Welcome to the Sunday Spin. I'm Vinny G, coming to you from San Diego, CA. As always, I've got my partner in crime with me this afternoon from the 719, Greno. How are you this afternoon?
I'm well, Vinny. Thanks for asking.
Looking good. Congratulations on the new release.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much, man. Definitely.
Right.
It wouldn't happen without all of you guys. So, man, we got this bearded stranger. Look at this guy in the house. Who's this guy, ladies and gents?
Tell us about him, G.
I wanna introduce a very special man, Mr. Derek Bachmann, and Derek is a fantastic drummer. We've known each other, a musician extraordinaire, and we've known each other for 7, maybe 8 years, a long time. Met through Anthony Davis, actually, and you guys were in a band together, and then we were in a band together. But Derek, how the hell are you, my friend? Great to see you.
Great to see you, Glenn and Vinny G. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Absolutely, man. Yeah, really pretty cool. Yeah, it's been that long, man. It's crazy. Yeah, how many years? 7, 8 years. Yep.
Wow.
And you're in Pittsburgh now, correct, Derek?
Yeah, a little east of Pittsburgh. I could say the actual town, but no one would know. So I always just say, Pittsburgh area. Yeah,
and you are from there, right? You grew up there as well?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. How are things there? Because, here currently, California, I don't think I need to go into a diatribe about it. How are things in your neighborhood? How are the people?
We're actually pretty tame, pretty quiet. There's nothing, right. No real shenanigans are happening, no unrest or, protesting or rioting or looting. It's actually throughout this whole thing, and that really hasn't happened around here. So we've been strangely fortunate.
And in good health, I would imagine as well, Derek?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Your neighborhood's important. I'm sure you'd agree with me, your friends and neighbors there, they're part of your story. So absolutely. That's great to hear. It really is.
Yeah. So, definitely strangely fortunate.
So, again, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. We know you're a busy man, but nuts and bolts, when did you start playing the drums and how did it happen?
Wow. I think probably around 88, 1988 was probably, I think, where the first actual drum kit happened. But, I was fortunate enough to grow up in a family of musicians. Basically on both sides, everybody played. My grandparents played, uncles played, and my father, obviously, a great guitarist in his own right. I was exposed to all the great music growing up, Yes, and Pink Floyd and, Zeppelin and Purple and all the stuff that we love, and somewhere in that span of time, though, from 70s into the 80s, I sort of gravitated toward the drums, and, the rest is history, as they say.
Fabulous. Yeah. And the first drum kit. I like to ask drummers this, the first drum kit. What could you tell us about it? What's the memory of the kit itself, the shape it was in, the color, how long did you keep it?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. It was a cheap Pearl kit. I think it was called Maxwin by Pearl. So, it was like,
Fabulous.
yeah, it was like probably pressed, cardboard or something, for the
But I
shells.
love those stories, right? The humble
Yeah.
beginnings. Sure.
Yeah, definitely. It was like a little 5-piece kit though. And the crazy thing about it is I've thought about that kit off and on over the years because I unfortunately don't have it anymore. But I've seen the snare, obviously not the one I had, but a snare from that kit, from that line, on Reverb for like $100. And I thought, one of these days I'm just going to pick that back up and see if I can make that thing sound good.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same across the board. First guitars, amplifiers, right? Plugging your guitar into your stereo because you didn't have an amplifier, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, being amongst two fantastic students of the drums as you guys, I'm in awe because I don't know how you do it. It's patting your head, rubbing your tummy, and chewing gum all at the same time. And again, you guys get a bad rap. Drumming. Wow. How long before you really became comfortable in your shell and said, yeah, I am a drummer?
I don't think I'm not even there yet still after, many albums and sessions and stuff. I think that every time I have a good take, that we get something down on record, there's always a bit of luck and a bit of like one of those, got through that one. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think it's a lifelong pursuit. I don't know that I'll ever get on top of it. I think that we just keep trying to do the best we can, keep learning and moving forward. Yeah.
Wow, what a great answer, Derek. It's a great answer. It's true.
Yeah.
Someday I'm going to learn that fourth chord, man. I'm going to be all set, right?
That's right. Yeah. In fact, I just came across, I was looking in my vinyl collection. I saw the Moody Blues album sitting there. I think it was called something like that, In Search of the Fourth Chord or something like that.
Lost chord, right?
Chord, that's what,
never going to find it.
Never going to find it. Yeah. Oh, my. Yeah. Quite the journey, man. Quite the journey.
Hey, Derek.
Yes, sir.
We did some work together in Raven's Orchard. We played a tune. One of the things I wanted to point out, and I know it's something that Vinny appreciates about your musicianship as well, is that you were very involved with the writing process. It's, some drummers, I'm a drummer too, and I'm a songwriter though. Mm-hmm. Now I think over a drummer. I mean, I'm going to admit that right here to you both. Again, I love drumming and all that, but songwriting has kind of taken a front seat for me. Talk about your process and how you do contribute as a drummer to the songwriting process, to the arranging process, all of that. You have a hand in all of that, and it makes you a very valuable commodity amongst drummers because a lot of folks don't have those qualifications. And talk about how you've built that up over time.
Oh, that's a good question, man. Yeah. I think that probably, and really it is very minuscule, I think, what I bring to that process. But, it feels like it sometimes. I think probably my biggest thing is my ear for stuff. Like I know what makes a good riff and what maybe doesn't or what works together. I may not know the chords or the notes per se, but I think I know what makes, how to construct something and make it sound good.
Yeah. It's far more important anyway.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
No, point, Benny.
It's far more important. You don't need to know what the chord's named if you can play it,
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about that ear and saying, yeah, this is something I'd listen to, or this sounds good, or something doesn't sound right. Something needs some tweaking. And yes, from my limited time playing with you, you do have a very good ear, and it makes you a fantastic drummer and rock solid to play with too, I might add. So
Thanks,
thank you for
Vinny.
the opportunity I had.
Yeah, man, I loved it. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's really it, though. You know, I've loved to write lyrics. A lot of the times, I kind of stumble, you know, with like trying to fit too many things in, and you know, or trying to convey too many ideas, and instead of just letting things flow naturally, you know. So I'm constantly working on that. You know, as far as actual writing, you know, the words or whatever. But yeah, certainly. You know, Glenn, when you and I were, you know, had those Wednesday writing sessions, I think we called them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was some of the most creative, I think, times I've had, you know, with finding somebody that was sort of on this, you know, just the same page, you know, like we were clicking, man. Like we talked about it, and then we went down to that, you know, to the basement studio and started knocking shit out, you know, and that was, I'm telling you, man, that, you know, for a long time, and still, man, I look back very fondly at that, because I thought we were pretty close to hitting on all cylinders there, you know.
Absolutely, Derek. You're a joy to play with, man. And like I said, your work ethic that you bring into it, like, yeah, Wednesday, you know, Vinny knows too. It's like we bring our, you know, we get our tool belt on, we go to work, you know, and we work hard, you know. It's like, and that's always the cliche in rock and roll is the opposite, you know. And we've known people that have totally wing it and like are great. Like, damn, you guys never even practice and you sound great. You know, there's people that can pull it off, but yeah, we're the blue collar guys. You know, we're the ones that you know, show up with the work pail and work hard and try and get the right tracks. And so I really appreciate your ethic, and everything that you do with music, Derek, is fantastic.
Thanks,
and
bud.
Let's
start
with the attitude as well, because
yes,
he's a lot of fun to play with too. He really was, you know.
So
take things too seriously, and really, again, blue collar, certainly just like us, but a lot of fun at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that to be lost on the conversation either. You were a lot of fun.
That's a great point, Vinny. And like, we got to let people know, and I want both of your impressions. I'm gonna not say anything about a group that we were all in, and I think it's the first time that we've really had someone on, that Vinny, that we've been doing music with and live performance in the last, you know, 3, 4, 5 years. So I want to get you guys' impressions of working together, like all of us in the Neverness hoax. So it was what, 2016, I think. 15.
Yeah, might have been earlier than that, I think. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I think so. I think I came back to this area in late 2014. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
my memory's terrible.
Yeah, well, believe me, mine's not much better. No, but yeah, that project I thought was a really solid thing there. You know, like with Brian. Man, you know, Brian and I clicked, I thought, as a rhythm section really pretty quick, man. I remember being in your studio there and looking over at him, like kind of had that nod, like there's something happening here.
Yes, Brian Elio from the Mob Individual just put out an ambient album this week on Bandcamp. Yeah, we love you. Thanks for for letting, because, you know, Brian is a guitar player and you guys were the rhythm section in that group. And
yeah, I
was kind of all over the place. And then Vinny held it down solid with the rhythm guitar and singing. Pretty much frontman. Vinny and I were the, you know, Dean Martin and
oh no. You stole the show. You were fantastic. And the thing I recall is being a little nervous because I had never played with a drummer aside from Greno. Wasn't sure if the sound was going to be lost. I got to be honest, you know, Derek, you brought something to the performance. And my only other impression is kind of comedic, because I got off the plane from, oh gosh, I think that was Oklahoma, and got down to the basement, the studio, and there's 6 people in there, or 5 people in there.
In this little room right here.
Right. Yeah, in this little room, which I'd never seen before, no more than 3. And I go to plug in, and the amplifier, I swear to God, was like that big, and it ran a 9-volt battery. It was great, and I wouldn't change a thing about it. It was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are my impressions. What a great timepiece.
Yeah. I'm glad we got pictures from that too, because that's and I think you just posted, Vinny. I think you shared that photo. Was that you that did
sure
that?
Did. Yeah.
There's
and
video
there's
too,
videos
guys.
out there too. Actually, I know.
There's
I know
video
Greta's
on the
got some.
Technicolor Dreams, right here on our YouTube channel.
Did you say there? Oh, there's video of it.
Yeah, there's like
Oh.
5 or 6 songs, brother.
Oh, okay, cool.
You got your Plum Lucky, you got your Stair Step to Abandon, you got your Truck 99.
You look
Anthony
fabulous,
Davis.
by the way, Derek. You look outstanding. Don't worry about it.
Oh, Derek, yeah.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah. You know what? I came across the set list. It was in my stick bag. Wait, hold on.
Oh, perfect. This is great.
Wow, a little history, huh?
Wait, yeah, look. It actually, I have the date on here. It's 11/21/2013, 8 o'clock stage, and it's probably can't see it, but it's the set list.
No, you can see it. Truck 99, Riff, Plum Lucky, Stair Step, Sudden Back Chair, which is what we started the show off. Talk about going full circle on the Sunday spin, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Rainy Day Girl, we did Rainy Day. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy, man. But yeah, in fact, on the second page is all of my notes from like all of the rehearsals that we did to get up to that point of that show. So I have that other page still of like who's counting what in and what it's going to be like, and all that. So I just happened to look on the inside of my stick bag, and there this was all that time.
That's precious, man. Thank you, Derek, for that.
Yeah.
That means so much to all three of us. I mean, and it's great again, for our viewers, because to have, a group thing, usually we have people on, we've worked with like maybe almost all of the people, but either a long time ago or separately. It's funny, Vinny had a band with my best friend Rob, Fez record, that we had on long before I even, is even jamming with Vinny. So it's full circle with everything, Derek. And but so before we come, I know you're doing a lot of music now, but Vinny, let's take a look, because we got this CD right here. It's the Knobs.
Love the Knobs. Yeah.
Yes. Right? Lonely at the Bottom. And this, you and your dad Rick are on this. Your dad is a fantastic guitar player.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And this is, and look, and that's actually the boys. Look, there they are. Look at a young Derek.
Yeah. That's
Pop, right?
Yeah, it is Dad. Yeah.
Oh,
that's great.
Shout out to your dad too.
Thank you,
man. I
appreciate it, man. Thanks. Yeah, he's a hell of a guy, man. He's the backbone and the inspiration for a lot of the stuff that we do. So, for all the projects that we've had in the studio and stuff, it's been really pretty cool to do that with him. So, yeah.
This is a kick-ass album. I was listening.
It really
to it
is.
again. It's so great to revisit all of it, and your drumming's so solid, brother. And then, like I said, Dad's riffs on it are amazing. Are you working with any of those people now?
Dad is. Dad is still working with Johnny. Johnny Marsilio was the leader of that band. Really one band. But he had some health issues over the last number of years that kind of sort of put that band into a little semi-retirement. But there were tracks that were done in his studio, the guy that he was working with. And so between that guy and my dad, and the one bass player, they're still sort of piecing that together. But I don't have anything going on with them. I think we actually played the last live show as a band with everyone, I think was the night before Thanksgiving, like maybe, I don't know, 2016, maybe 2017, somewhere in there.
Awesome.
Yeah. But we still, we all still talk and hang out every now and then.
So you're a busy man with the music now. Vinny and I really want to know what you've been up to. I know, man, this guy's got a full calendar of music, videos, all types of stuff, and collaborative work.
He's in demand.
New Ravens Orchard. So yeah, right. So fill us in, my brother.
Well, I think that the most exciting thing we have going on is and like you said about collaborating and just people that you've played with for years, and or you kind of go full circle again. My very good friend John Weimer, we started in a band together. In fact, I think it was actually because of that band and our love for music that we first met when we were maybe 14 or 15. And we had been in bands in different incarnations, as teenagers and into our 20s or whatever. And then, but just like maybe a year or two ago, he started writing and really coming up with some great stuff, and was like, hey, now we have the capability of the studio. Why don't we maybe put an album together? And so it has been fantastic to work with him, in that capacity, because it's something we had never done before. We'd been in bands, played live, and obviously spent hours rehearsing and whatever, but we never tracked albums, or songs or anything like that. So to be a part of that process again with somebody that's been like a lifelong friend, again, man, it's just an amazing thing, to see it come to fruition too. And the songs are good, like we've got two in the can, really, pretty much done. And then we have a third one that we just started kind of putting the framework together. In fact, we did it yesterday. We had a session and just laid down a good demo, enough for him to take it back and start doing words, and we sent it to Dave, our bass player, to maybe have him start coming up with his bass ideas. So yeah, that's been really, and Glenn, how we used to write and how much fun that was. And finally, I kind of get back to that again, to be in a room and just, banging it out.
There's nothing like it, right, fellas?
There isn't, man. It's like playing baseball, right? It's like anything else. Yeah, it's the part that's missed the most. So
yeah.
And I know, Derek, I know how much you enjoy playing live. And again, you're in demand as a live drummer, as you should be. So what do you miss the most about playing live right now?
Well, you know what? That's kind of funny, because I haven't really. I mean, with my dad's studio, and my kit always there set up and mic'd and everything. There is an element of it, I think, that maybe we miss, and maybe it's just the camaraderie that you get being on stage with the other people. I get to look over and see my dad smiling when we're jamming on a Stones tune or something, or whatever, to see that look and know that we're just killing it. I think that's probably maybe the one and only thing I miss about playing live, because I don't have to carry equipment. It's that simple. I got all my shit set up. It's all mic'd. It all sounds good. Why would I ever want to tear it all down and and pack it up?
It's a very reasonable argument, my man. It really is.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And I don't know about you guys. Colorado Springs, for me, when I got out there, you guys had a vibrant music scene. I think people that probably had been around there long enough maybe didn't see it that way, but coming from the area that I did, I'm like, holy shit, you guys got bars everywhere. And there's magazines that are dedicated to, the music scene and talking about stuff that's happening and promoting everything. And you got guys like Glenn who got record labels and, and doing all this stuff. And it's like, I came from an area that didn't have any of that, really. And so, to rehearse all these hours and then, pack up all your gear and go out and play in a bar for really, 10 or 20 people that really don't, give two shits. It was like, yeah, I think we're kind of done with that. I think we'll just do the studio stuff from now on and be our own little version of Steely Dan.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So become studio rats, you know.
Well, you're good at that craft. I mean, you're, excellent in the studio and always focused, and just, you're a joy to work with, my brother. And I do miss it. And I know Vinny does too.
Yeah, he's
I
a
think we're going to have to, in 2021, it's going to be the year of reunions and all that. So let's figure out where we're all, I mean, we know we're doing the Raven's Orchard. Talk a little bit about this track that we just cut for people.
Dude, I'm telling you what, man, that was a trip, man. I love that. That was to get that track from you, and to have it grow the way that it did. And,
yeah, man,
piece by piece, and layering the stuff that we did, and man, that was such a kick in the ass, man. It was so enjoyable. I love that. I'm really looking forward to doing another one like that. I mean, I know you got riffs just coming out of the top of your head, so I'm pretty sure it'll happen at some point. But yeah, that song that we did though, man, that was like, it was like no time had passed. You had the ability to summon up what that feeling was that we had, back then, in 2013 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
And so the riff was amazing. What you had put down was great. And then just, I mean, we worked on it for how long, and then sent it back and forth, and, yeah, to hear it now from
and
where
your dad's on it. I mean, it's such a Vinny, this track we did is just basically a click with me doing distorted bass. That's all I sent. And what I got back, I mean, first Derek did, worked painstakingly hard to get a good drum track. Like he even sent me a couple versions, and I'm like, brother, you're killing it. And he revised his parts as he always does. And then the next thing I hear, it's like his dad's guitars and like, like the spoken word thing in the middle. And like, I'm like, this sounds like Slint or something. Like, this is weird. Like, this is cool. Like, it really transcended the whole just initial riff that I put together. Man, I'm so grateful to be working with you again.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah.
And on that, let's get you involved. Vinny and I are revamped the Skinny Mulligans again. So I think we should kind of morph these members of the Neverness hoax into that Mulligan, because I'd love to have some tracks where I'm not playing drums on the Mulligan stuff, because if I got DB in the house, I'm gonna confer, baby. There's a few drummers that, I mean, quite a few actually. I love other drummers so much. Like if Mandy was here, I'll be like, sit down. And that's why I like playing other instruments. You know what I mean, guys? Because then I can play with all these great drummers like Derek.
The beauty of the Mulligans is that you have that inner core, but you have the rotating bass around it. And it allows the freedom to say, hey, this sounds like the kind of track that we want DB to play on. And I think that can't get lost in what we're trying to do as not only a record label, but as a band, is trying to get the right roles for the right players.
It's totally New York, Woodstock, 1969. Yeah, it's the Pink House, baby. Like
exactly.
We're making songs.
Cripple,
right?
Baby.
Yep. I'd love to, man. That sounds great. Yeah, count me in. Whatever I can do. Yeah.
So just to let people know, been tuning into the Sunday Spin with Mr. Derek Bachmann. I got my sidekick and always bringing the positive vibes, Mr. Vinny G. And Derek, we're on a roll. We can wrap it up, but before we do, I think Vinny and I really would like to know about maybe some of the records that maybe changed your life.
Absolutely.
And you guys start with that, and I'm going to get myself a beverage, so I'll be right with you.
Yeah, you had mentioned, yes, I do recall, but and some of the rock bands from that era. I want to focus on the most inspirational drummers for you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the drummers themselves. Could be a jazz drummer. You know,
Yeah.
my favorite drummer, aside from you two, but you know, out there in the other world, so to speak, is Dino Danelli.
Mm-hmm.
That I'll tell you, fantastic drummer, East Coast vibe, New Jersey
Yeah.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Dino.
who does it for you? Who's your man?
Well, you know, I mean, I think for the last number of years, probably since 2005, maybe, when I first heard the band Porcupine Tree, Gavin Harrison has been just my guy, man. He has been, if there's another drummer that's more complete, I don't know who that would be. You know, the guy can play anything, and the crazy thing is that he plays all this amazing shit on the records, right? But then you go see him live, or you see these clips of him playing these songs live when they were still a band and still playing, and the stuff that he was coming up with night after night was even more ridiculous than what he did on the album. And it was like, how's this guy do all this stuff? Like, and it just seems to come natural to him, you know, and to even think up the parts like that, you know, is just amazing. So yeah, Gavin Harrison for me, for the last couple of decades has been my guy on the drums. But you know, it's all the usual guys, you know, Neil Peart and Bill Bruford, you know, but I love like Elvin Jones, you know, playing on Love Supreme with Coltrane. I mean, you know, the stuff that you hear on drums on that album is like, you just shake your head like, what? It's just, you know, but yeah, I mean, I cover, I think, a lot of ground, you know. I mean, Danny Carey, obviously, because, you know, again, I'm, you know, my prog rock leanings, you know, will always take me to a Tool, King Crimson, Yes, you know, vibe. But yeah, there's no shortage of great players, boy. That's for sure.
What about a guy like Danny Heifetz from Mr. Bungle? You're familiar?
I'm not. Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Bungle is. I'll turn you on, man. You'll love this dude. I mean, this guy, and yeah, just cross paths. He was in a band called Barefoot Hockey Goalie with Tony Accarelli, who's actually going to be on next week. But also Danny's grandfather, I think, was Yasha Heifetz.
Wow.
Yes. So yeah, Danny's on that level of musicianship. This guy's, and Mr. Bungle, just real quickly, was like pretty much a band of all virtuosos and Mike Patton.
Yeah, right. No, that's the only reason why I even know the name, is because of Mike Patton and sort of that Faith No More, you know. It's
way more proggy and way technical, and like, I mean, we're talking, they pull in like klezmer and like, dude, they go hard. Like, they're really, Derek, I think you appreciate the hell out of them, and Danny. So I'm glad I brought that up. But yeah, a couple albums. I know Porcupine Tree's big for you. I know, like, you know, even you like conceptual music, you know, Pink Floyd and stuff, but talk about just a few albums real quickly.
Yeah, I think that One Size Fits All, Frank Zappa from 75, 74, somewhere in there, when he had like that band, you know, with Ruth on marimba and Chester on drums and George Duke on keyboards. I mean, you know, that was just a phenomenal album. I thought I liked a lot of Frank's stuff before that album, but for me, that album just kind of coalesced everything. And you know, I find myself going back to that album a lot. You know, that really meant a lot, you know, to me. And there's another one, you know, Chester Thompson. I mean, you know, probably a lot of people, you know, kind of think of him maybe as Genesis, you know, the touring drummer with Genesis for forever. But you know, playing with Zappa was pretty much what I think put him on the map there for a while, and you know, Weather Report too, maybe. But yeah, so that was a great album. And Discipline from King Crimson, I thought, was like a game changer, because it took that 60s, early 70s psychedelia prog thing into like a Talking Heads 80s scenario, and I don't think that anybody ever really kind of tried that.
Great description, by the way. I think you just nailed it in the description, quite honestly. Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, and there's so many and for me, that album, I think not only the songs, but I'm a big fan of atmospheric. So I like, doesn't even have to have drums. Some of my favorite tracks have no drums on them.
Yeah.
And,
I'm with you.
And so, that Discipline album has a couple of those passages where it's just so haunting and so, hazy in the way that it's played. It's just, fantastic. So that's just a couple, that off the top of my head. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Wow. Sunday Spin, Vinny, we're rolling, man. Definitely.
Time goes by quickly, doesn't it? Wow.
Before we go,
Yeah.
Derek, is there a place or where is the place where people can find your music online to buy it, to listen to it, to stream it, to do, jazzercise and yoga to it? Like where's the place, baby?
Well, actually, we don't have any of that really right now.
Okay.
There's nothing. The tracks that we have done for John's album, nothing has really been like mastered to be put out there for mass consumption. And so that'll be coming up soon, though. I believe. Yeah, and we'll have to find that record label to sign us up and
hey, we're ready. Well, and just so people know, we'll have that Raven's Orchard tune out next month. The Collaborations from Home album. It's basically so people know it's going to be an ongoing thing. So we finished our song, so it's not going to be perfectly done for a while, but we're going to go ahead and put out 6 or 7 songs next month. And so that will be, once your dad and you get done mastering, that final sweetness, we'll get that going. And we'll get that out to folks so they can find that at grenomusic.bandcamp.com probably next month on the Just Collabs from Home.
Makes the perfect Christmas gift.
I'm telling you, man, it's the gift that keeps on giving. So Derek, any shout outs or any love that you want to give to your brethren out there?
Oh, I think they all know who they are, right? I mean, there's just so many, right? I mean, it's
classic Derek.
Yeah. Well, you start naming people and then you forget one or two, and so then
always.
So, but I think that we've, probably talked about them in some way, over the last half hour or so. Again, I've just been strangely fortunate to work with great musicians, yourself, Vinny G. I can't believe how lucky I was to go back out to Colorado Springs and meet up with you guys. That was just somehow the universe saying, here you go, buddy,
Likewise, my brother.
Really
yeah.
cool.
Well, again, thank you so much. You guys been tuning into the Sunday Spin. We want to just thank our viewers briefly. You guys make the show. We love doing this every week. We actually had a first time last week we weren't able to do it, and it broke our hearts. But we've been on a roll, and so we did a doubleheader today, and we'll be back again next week with Mr. Tony Accarelli and his sons. They actually have a band now called, I think they're called the Eddies. So we might have our first live performance on Sunday Spin. I want to thank all of our guests, all of our people from other shows, collaborators, all the wonderful people at What's Left Records and Grooves Records, Colorado Springs and San Francisco collectively, Anonymous Pacific Records, Anonymous Collective Records, Stables Media, Mr. Tony Russo, Freedom to Rock Granted. I could go on and on because there's so many wonderful people that make this show happen. And tonight, Derek, it was you. So thank you so much. And,
thank you.
And we'll be back in touch. Let's get those Wednesday writing sessions back on gear, huh?
I love that. Absolutely, my friend. Yeah.
And we're gonna end the show. Vinny, you want to say any final things, you beautiful man? I love that green background, by the way.
Yeah, cool, isn't it? Thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back in the 6-4. Now, Derek, it was great catching up with you. Can't wait to work with you again. You know,
You too, Vinny.
keep the faith, stay healthy. Greta, again, congratulations. We'll menopause, right?
Yeah. Oh,
buddy.
Vinny, thank you so much. Let's just, before we go, if you guys made it to the end of the show, basically, if you, what we want to do, you want to add Technicolor Dreams to your YouTube and put some comment from tonight, and we'll send you a download for the CD of the new Woman of Pause. Okay. So we'll do that for like 5 people if we can get some stuff generated. So let's get the word spread out about Sunday Spin and what Derek's doing. Skinny Mulligans. We love you guys. We want you to be safe, be happy, be positive. Things are getting really crazy out there right now. Crazier than we thought. So let's just keep being positive. Let's create music. Let's make all kinds of art. Most importantly, let's be sexy. So here's Sex Pot from Raven's Orchard. And you've been watching the Sunday Spin. We'll see you next time, you guys. Oh, this is that big rock action, baby. Check out how Derek comes in on this.
Oh, yeah.
Solid as a rock.
Get that little noise in there.
She has awakened.
Wow.
She knows the way now. She will lead you. She can break you in two. She holds the key.
Holds the key.
She understands the sea.
Understand?
She lets her hair